Welcome to the Referrals Podcast, the show designed to help everyone from the solopreneur to the Fortune 500 company win the referral game. If you want to build a company with an army of ambassadors and raving fans who speak highly of you and refer you willingly, you are in the right place. And now, here is your host, Michael J. Maher.
Welcome, everybody. This is Michael J. Maher with another episode of Referrals Podcast. We are continuing the solo series. The jam session continues today on the 23 ways to not get referrals in 2023. I have checked my nose hair, ear hair, eyebrow hair, and my zipper, and I am ready and raring to go today. Hope you are too. That was one of the ideas. One of the strategies that we shared last time was just take care of your appearance. Dress for success, people. Dress appropriately and make it happen. And such good feedback on what I've already heard. Interesting feedback from what I've heard from the last session. And I ask you to make sure that you listen with a questioning ear or watch with a questioning eye today as we go through the next 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and so on of the 23 ways to not get referrals. And question me on it. Ask me on it. Ask for more details. Ask for specifics. Ask what you can do. Maybe bring up your story. Bring up what you're doing. Bring up what you're not doing. Bring up what you heard. I love it. I love it. Let's have a conversation about it. And speaking of things that I love that you are rating and reviewing the podcast. Thank you so much for doing that. We got a 5-star podcast from Peter Liu, an Orlando real estate agent. He said, I love Michael Maher. Listen, do you need to hear any more? He pretty much hit it all in his first 4 words. I love Michael Maher and all the advice he gives. The generosity generation helped me scale my business since 2015. He has a huge burgeoning business in Orlando. Peter Liu, thank you so much for sharing that. And thank you so much for listening and watching Referrals Podcast. I really do appreciate that. And for those of you that don't know, we are continuing the Creating Superfans delivery. We will send you out a book for your rating and review. Here's how you do it. You rate and review the book either at Apple, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Audible, anywhere that you see the podcast and you listen to the podcast, rate it and review it. And then you're going to take a picture or a screenshot or a snapshot of it on your phone. You're going to share it in the Join Gen Gen group, in the Generosity Generation referral group, joingengen.com. You're invited to join us if you have not already. Make sure you put the podcast down, recommending it and how you heard about it. We love to have our podcasters become Generosity Generation ambassadors and welcome you to that. We will send you a book for your rating and review. It's Creating Superfans by Brittany Hodak. We are super fans of Creating Superfans, a best-selling book by Brittany Hodak, and really appreciate that. The other thing, too, is today's broadcast is brought to you by Referral Mastery Academy. So check out referralmasteryacademy.com. There's a live class every month. You get an incredible referral library on the back end. You also get a live mastermind with myself every month with the groups, the ambassadors from the Referral Mastery Academy. We call them RMA. And also, you get a woman's mastermind the 3rd week of every month that is led by Miss Tara Carter out of Florida. She is a dynamo and leads the women's mastermind for RMA. So the 1st and 3rd Thursdays of every month, you are getting live coaching along with all of the classes, mastery classes, trainings, the archive trainings, and all of the referral library resources. There's over 1,000 resources in there that help you get referrals. Check them out. Check it out at referralmasteryacademy.com. Well, welcome to the 2023 edition of the 23 ways to not get referrals in 2023. And we're going to jump right in with number 8 because it's near and dear to my heart. This is how I began getting referrals in the very beginning. So I know the way not to get referrals. And the number 8 way to not get referrals is to never refer others. This is a sure way to not get referrals. The best way to get a referral is to refer out. If you are never referring others out, you are missing out on the energy and the love of a referral relationship. Most of the most referable people on the planet refer out 8 to 10 times as many referrals as they receive. Make it a daily habit to think of and then introduce, connect, and refer others. Every single day, you should always be connecting, ABC, right? You should always be introducing and referring people to others. And why don't we do that? We're busy doing what we do. We're lazy. We're internal thinkers. We're afraid that it might not turn out great, whatever it may be. But we need to refer out to get referrals in. And it's interesting is some of you've heard the Scott Edwards story. Last year, one of my personal coaching clients, he generated 815 referrals. He lost 50 pounds and he added 3 children, right? Health, wealth, and happiness. Interesting combo of things to lose 50 pounds, gain 815 referrals, and gain 3 kids. He fostered 3 children and his family became a family, which is just electric, awesome, amazing thing that I got to be a part of last year in some very small way. But great updates, and what a great day when they were welcome to the household. Well, here's the thing on that is so we were talking to a person that is at his company, and he just mentioned he's given 8 referrals to the financial planner and hasn't got any in return, and it's one of those where, he's giving out all these referrals and he's not necessarily getting a lot. He is getting referrals in return, but he's not getting one for one. And the thing about Scott is a lender. And in the real estate world, a lot of times the lender is not the top of the funnel. The realtor spends money on marketing or has a business based on the referral mastery system, gets business from their sphere and repeat and referral clients. And they're the top of the funnel. They generate the business and then they refer it to the lender to take care of the loan. And then a realtor typically refers out 7 or 8 different professionals during their transaction, right? They will refer out a lender, they'll refer out a title company, they'll refer out a warranty company, they'll refer out an inspector, maybe multiple inspectors, they refer out an insurance company, they refer out a moving company, they refer out a contractor or contractors, plumbing, HVAC, handyman, whatever it may be, and they might refer out a closing attorney, and so on and so forth. So for every 1 referral a realtor generates, we typically send out 8 or 9. And by the way, where's the NAR message on that? I would love to see the National Association of Realtors start talking about how referrals or how realtors are some of the greatest referral sources in the world. We refer business. We're so generous. We refer out so many more referrals than we get. Well, that was kind of the complaint or conversation that was brought up by the person that worked with Scott. And I go, welcome to the top of the funnel. At the top of the funnel, you are going to refer out 7 or 8 for every 1 that you get. It doesn't always work that way. Sometimes you refer out 1, you get 5 back. But in general, you're going to refer out 8 to 10 times as many referrals as you receive. And you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Make it a referral culture. Make it a referral community. And the number, seriously, today, refer someone out. Find someone to refer out. What's that going to take? It's going to take a conversation. You got to talk to somebody. Well, guess what we know is the way to success in business is through conversations. Conversations lead to conversions, and converts who eventually become ambassadors, hopefully. So that's a big one. And it just make it a daily habit to think of and refer others. And we all know that one of the ways to not get referrals. And the number 8 way out of the 23 ways to not get referrals in 2023 is to never refer others. So we go to number 9. And number 9 is another one that may be controversial. It may be something that is counterintuitive, but it's also something that I've seen happen to clients, and I've seen it happen with people who just overuse and abuse social media. The number 9 way to not get referrals in 2023 is to put business stuff all over Facebook. That's right. I became your friend so that I could see all about your business. I wanted to become your friend so I could see your listings, so I could see your awards, and so on and so forth. No, I became your friend because I like the rest of the stuff about you too, like your family. Like, are you neglecting your family to do real estate? Are you neglecting your family to do lending? What happened to the picture of your dog? Do you still have your dog? Like, what's going on in your life? And I'm telling you right now, here's the other thing, is flooding your feed about how awesome you are is actually counterproductive. And most of the time, it's an insecure person who is doing that. And it's just very, very telling. Here's the thing. Please tell me how many transactions you do and how many in sales you did last year, last month, in your career, today, this week, because that's exactly why I became your friend on Facebook, was to see, like, literally how many transactions you did, what your volume was. And here's what's funny about the real estate world, right? Is like literally somebody that makes $6 million in sales is just over broke, because after the splits with the commissions and everything else, they're making far less than a teacher that lives in their area. And it's just one of those where, you see, wow, 6 million in sales or 4 million in sales. $1 million, right? It used to be the $1 Million Club. And it's like, $1 Million Club, you made the $1 million, you sold $1 million in real estate this year at like 5 houses. And it's like, or in some places that's 1 house, but it just like, what were you doing the rest of the time? So it's just one of those where it can really be counterproductive. And what are you doing with it, really? I will tell you there's a spin on that, right? And the right way to do this is to celebrate your clients' successes. In 7L, I wrote about the success stories and how to write a success story about your client. And the cool thing about that is you are the guide on the slide. Really, whose success are all those transactions? Like, is it really your success? It's not. It's the family or the people or the person you helped get them into a home, hopefully got them a great financial investment, and got everything or close to everything that they wanted in a home. And that's who we should be celebrating. We should be writing success stories about our clients and not about ourselves. What do you think Referrals Podcast is? Referrals Podcast is a weekly success story of our clients and the people that have used the strategies of 7L or other referral strategies, Event Mastery, whatever it may be, of the Referral Mastery System. And we get the chance to applaud and show them to the world. And that's what it's all about, right? And I remember that, last week, Cynthia Yosha Snyder said that this podcast will change your life. And the truth of that is this podcast can't change anybody's life. It can't, right? It's what you do with the information you get from this podcast that will change your life. So the thing here is you need to celebrate your client success. And the other thing is you need to celebrate your vendors and your referral partners' successes as well. They're the heroes. You're the guide on the side, and you put them as the sage on stage. Don't be the sage on stage. Be the guide on the side. And, make your referral partners, vendors, and clients the heroes. And always be thanking people for their referrals, their support, their trust, their confidence. The wrong way to do this is trophies, numbers, and glamour shots, and it's never worse than it is in trophy season, which is the first 4 or 5 months of the new year. You're doing it wrong. you're doing it wrong. Congratulations on your awards. But when you get an award, don't talk about how great you were or how many transactions or what the volume was. You know what? Thank the families. And if you can tag them and thank them personally in the post, that's going to go a whole lot farther than it is talking about how beautiful you look and how great you look with that acrylic. I'm telling you what, I'm so tired of it. I'm in real estate. I could literally start an acrylic factory. And if I started burning the wood from the wood plaques, I could literally start a fire in my fireplace and burn it year round for 7 years. I mean, is there any easier place to get awards? Oh, yeah, actually, it might be sports, but that's another story for another day. But they literally give these awards away and these plaques away to everybody. You know, I mean, it's like the whole world doesn't care. They don't. And listen, I've been on both sides, right? I remember nearly being in tears when they got my award wrong in my first year at Remax. And it was one of those where, like, then, you know, I worked my butt off and made sure they were right the next year and the next several years. But it was one of those where, like, it does matter to us, but it doesn't matter to the consumer a whole lot. And I think that's the biggest thing that we need to do is just put the light on our clients, put the light on our vendors, our referral partners, the people, the contractors, the people who helped us make it possible. And you're going to find that's a whole lot more conducive to generating referrals. It's also a breath of fresh air. So guess what? The number 9 way to not get referrals is put your stuff all over Facebook. Let's quit doing it. What do you say? Sound good? All right. Love you. All right. That moves us on to number 10. We're already in the double digits on the ways to not get referrals in 2023. The number 10 way to not get referrals in 2023, and I apologize to whatever trainer is training this around the nation, especially to financial planners, but you've got it wrong. And that is print LinkedIn connections and ask to be connected. Same for Facebook friends. Don't print out somebody's Facebook friends, especially the ones that aren't mutual friends. And a sure way to not get referrals is an all-out assault on someone's friend list or LinkedIn connections. I've had this done to me before. It was super cringy, super awkward. It was like it damaged a long-standing solid referral relationship, and it just can't be done right. Will you connect me to this connection on a printout? It's just too self-serving. It's too like hit and run. If you know someone is connected to someone you know, have a direct conversation about that one person and see if the introduction is possible. Keep it to one connection or Facebook friend and have a good reason for the connection other than sales maybe. Otherwise, it is just too self-serving and creeping. It just is. It's just awkward. And listen, if you've ever had this done, I had this done in a live one-to-one over lunch, and this person that was across from me, very highly respected, and it just blew up in his face. It was not a good look. It didn't, and I'm not very, here's the thing. I'm the worst liar in the world, and you can ask my son and my wife about that. I am the worst poker player in the world because I can't hide my emotions. I'm just horrible at it. And listen, he knew something was up because it's just like, it was cringe. It was super awkward. And you know what? It ruined that relationship. Was it irreparable? It was almost irreparable. But it was just, it's not something to do to print out the LinkedIn connections, meet them in person, and then just go, hey, listen, I brought your list of friends, and I'd like to go down the list and get introductions to these people. Okay, wow. Like, why? Like, how are you going to help them? What are you going to do? Do you even know if they need a blank, which is your profession? Like, the answer is no. Did not go well, won't go well with you. It's such a mass or bulk approach. And I'm telling you right now, in the generosity generation, we're no longer in the ego era. We're now in the generosity generation. The ego era was we're number one, we're the biggest, baddest, boldest, we do the most, whatever it may be. And the new era is the generosity generation where it's, we're here to help. I am here to help. We're here to help. And the fact of the matter is that we have to if you are about to do something in mass or you're about to do something in bulk, you need to really, really, really think, is this beneficial? Is there a way for me to do this individually? Is there a way for me to do this personally? Is there a way for me to customize this? Because people are rebelling against mass and bulk, period. And having 20 connections, can you imagine going through 1,000 LinkedIn connections? No way. That's the number 10 way to not get referrals. And it's a pretty easy one. It's a pretty easy one to fix too. Hopefully you haven't implemented that yet or weren't thinking about it. You might hear somebody teaching about it. It won't be me. But I did want you to know that that is the number 10 way to not get referrals in 2023. Which leads us to number 11. Once again, I'm going to attack dogma. I keep seeing these ways that people are talking about getting referrals and how you have to do great sales. And listen, here's the thing. The number 11 way to not get referrals out of the top 23 ways to not get referrals in 2023 is to master sales skills. Yep, I see you. I know some of you are cringing right now. Some of you are like, oh my God. Is he going there? I'm going there. It almost seems like in today's world, we are seeing the death of the salesman. We're seeing the death of the salesman. The pushy, high-pressure salesperson is dying. And you know what? It's somewhat refreshing to see that high-pressure sales tactics get ridiculed publicly and backfire daily. It used to be that you could piss 99 people off on the way to that one sale, where you could intimidate, scam, and overwhelm that one person or talk them into it. Now, the 99 people have a voice to tell 100 or 10,000 people. The Wolf on Wall Street says, well, it was worth it. It's a numbers game and you just have to keep going. Isn't it funny that people say to understand sales, you've got to watch those movies where everybody at the end goes to prison or dies or gets killed, And that's funny in a non-comedic kind of way. Don't be smarmy, get an army. You might want to write that down. Don't be smarmy, get an army. Don't be this awesome salesman who goes to these classes to learn how to sell and overcome objections. It's time to just be human. Human. That's right. This is the human approach to sales. And get an army and build an army and feed an army and congregate an army. Bring your army together. An army of ambassadors who speak highly of you and refer you willingly. We talk about it all the time on Referrals Podcast. How many of our podcasts have you heard us talk about sales skills? How many times have we talked about feel, felt, found? How many times have we talked about, using scripts and dialogues to overcome objections and to trap people and convince them and make them feel like idiots? There used to be trainers who literally would train agents to go to for sale by owners, get the appointment, and then literally badger and insult the owner about, you can't get this sold on your own. You will never sell this on your own. You don't know anything about marketing. You don't know anything about the market. You don't know anything about anything. You can't, and literally, these sellers would be crying at the appointment. They were so badgered and they were so insulted. And the thing is, they used to have to just take it. Now they can take back. Now they can get back. Now they can kick back. And guess what? They are. And I love it. And you know what? Those people are getting sued. Those people are getting kicked out of the house. Those people are paying huge fines. And you know what? I freaking love it. I love it. You know what? Be nice and listen. It seems to be like a current thread here. And, we talked about it 2 sessions ago with Brittany Hodak and everything else. And it's one of those where, you know what? Don't worry about mastering sales skills. Master human relationship skills. Master humans. What do we be the expert on? Don't be the expert on the market. Don't be the expert on the marketplace. Don't be an expert in marketing. Don't be an expert at sales skills. Here's the thing. Be an expert in the person across from you. Be an expert. Know so much about them that you can help them achieve their dreams, accomplish their goals, and have a better life. Be an expert in relationship building. And I mean, even go above relationship building. Be an expert in referrals. Be an expert in referrals. Be an expert in the person across from you. That's the key to this and I will tell you, being the expert is about knowing the answers. No more. You're going to now know the questions. It used to be about knowing the answers. You had to have the answer for everything, right? You had, oh my God, overcome that objection, overcome that. Know the answer, know the answer, know the answer. And pretty much you're a know-it-all, right? Everybody likes working with know-it-alls. Nope, not anymore. No. Now it's know the questions. What are the questions to ask? And then hear them and listen to them and then help them, right? It used to be find me, sell me. Find me, go pursue, chase, find me. And then once you find me, sell me. Tell me why this product is going to change my life. Tell me all the benefits and features and how it's going to make my life better. And guess what? That's the old way. That's the ego era. The new era is the generosity generation. The new consumer of the generosity generation is hear me, help me. Hear me, listen to me. Ask me great questions. Old, know the answers, have great answers. New, have great questions, know the questions, and then hear them, and then help them. You might be the one to help them. Somebody else might be the one to help them. Always be connecting. It used to be always be closing. Now it's always be connecting. That is the world of today. What's human is connection. Connect with yourself, connect with others, and connect others. And that's why we say always be connecting. And that's why the master of the sales skills, the expert of the sales skills is dying. And we are seeing the death of a salesman, but we are seeing the birth of legacies of kind, wonderful people who are doing humongous business. It's the birth of your legacy. Don't you want your legacy to be love, generosity, and appreciation? If so, then you know what? Become an expert in the person across from you. Become an expert in each individual client. Become an expert in your client. Become an expert in the people in your life. Know so much about them that you might know more about them than their spouse knows about them. And then you can help them. You can help them have a great life. It's powerful. Ladies and gentlemen, that's number 11 of the 23 ways to not get referrals in 2023 is to master sales skills. The death of a salesman, and yet the birth of a legacy of love, generosity, and appreciation. Your legacy starts today by jotting down some of the best questions you could ever ask another human being, or some of the best questions you've ever been asked. Powerful. Oh my gosh. Am I still going there? I'm telling you, I'm about to hit you upside the head with another one right here. And I mean this from the bottom of my heart, that this is just my opinion and something that I have seen over and over again in the marketplace. There are companies that have come to us that have had certain things in place, and they're wondering why the heck nobody took advantage of it. Nobody did it. But the number 12 way to not get referrals in 2023 is referral rewards programs. Yeah, these will work. Pay people to refer us. Well, there are 2 problems with this. Number 1, this is a big one. And this is the FTX thing, right? All the lawsuits with Tom Brady and several other superstars. I believe Matt Damon is one of them as well. That they're being sued by consumers because they failed to disclose that FTX was selling or was paying them to endorse and promote the product, right? Well, that's the problem, right? Is when the referral finds out the referral source was paid, it totally subtracts some of the most important aspect of the referral, which is trust. Like, oh, are you saying that I should do business with this person because it's in my best interest? Or are you saying I should do business with this person or business because it's in your best interest? And the cool thing about referring to people that we don't have referral rewards programs with is it's genuine. We're just doing it for them. And that's what I love about not having referral rewards programs is, guess what? It's a referral and it works. The other problem is that they simply don't work. If you have to pay people to refer you, you're probably doing it wrong. And you are now monetizing a relationship that was just simply a value exchange relationship before. You know, try going into business with a family member or loan a family member money. That is what monetizing a relationship does, is it changes the relationship every single time to the worse. And lastly, in some professions, it is actually illegal to pay others for referrals, like in real estate, lending, other places. And it's one of those where, listen, is don't set up a referral rewards program that's based on money. I think the best referral reward program is one that's based on exchange, like an exchange of referrals. And it is not a keeping track or a dirty laundry list where you go, hey, I've sent you, 20 and haven't gotten any, and where is it, and holding it ransom, so to speak. I think the best thing is you do what you do, and then you give them opportunities to refer you, right? And a lot of times that's an event or a one-to-one or a small event or a dinner or there's other ways to do that. But I think the best thing is that, you probably haven't set up a referral reward program. You probably haven't, because not a lot of people have done them because the research out there is just mixed. I believe that there was one that worked a while back, and it was the friends and family approach that, was it T-Mobile? It was not T-Mobile. It wasn't AT&T. It wasn't Sprint. It was before, was it the, I can't remember who it was, but was it MCI? That's what it was. Holy cow. Whew. Telecom world coming back. The MCI friends and family approach, right? Or world. You guys will have to remind me of which one that was. But the friends and family approach, I think, worked where if they were part of your phone package and they had a phone within your group, then there was huge discounts on it. But it's like, that just makes sense anyway. Now all the companies have it where, you can group your family members under one plan and it's a little bit cheaper, which, I mean, honestly, that just makes sense, doesn't it? But I do know that the friends and family approach was successful, but there have not been very many referral rewards approaches be successful. And it's just like, and the internet marketing world has their affiliates and things like that. And some of those have been pretty successful overall. But man, there's so much into it, so much to do. And the bottom line is that, guess what? You need to keep track of your referrals, and you need to track your outgoing referrals. And there's going to be people who refer you, and there's going to be people who may never refer you. It's okay, right? It's okay. Don't put in place this complex referral rewards program and make it into a monetary reward for things that they want to do anyway. You know why people refer you? Because you're going to take care of their friend, you're going to answer all their questions, and you're going to make them look like a hero. That's why they refer. That's it right there. If you put in a referral reward and the referral finds out that there was money or a gift exchanged because of the referral, it loses its trust. It loses its value. And you don't ever want to do that with a referral culture or a referral economy. So that's number 12, is have a referral rewards program. That's a way to not get referrals in 2023. And, speaking of paying for things, like paying for referrals, The number 13, yes, this is number 13. This is the number 13 way to not get referrals is ask for sex. Yep, this is a very non-sexy thing and assures that you won't get referrals or sex at all. This actually happened to a colleague of mine. She was referred to a man. During their meeting, he lost his mind and literally hit on her and repeatedly said inappropriate comments to her at their very first supposedly business meeting. She is one of the most professional people I know and a great networker. She was not flattered. And by the way, she told the story to a lot of people, which instantly ruined this guy's reputation. It is interesting. Like, it's just like, what the heck? Like, how does that even come up? How does that even work? Like, somebody's having a professional conversation and it goes straight to that. And I will tell you, they did an afternoon meeting, right? And they did it like right before or during the start of happy hour. So some things I think went into the process there. It was not my referral. I had not connected the two of them. It was somebody else that had connected her and him. But I certainly heard the story, and so did hundreds of others. But it's one of those where, you know, it's not flattering. It's like, how do you go there? I don't know. I am not the expert on that. I don't have a freaking clue about dating. And guess what? That's not what this show is all about. And it's one of those where that's outside the realm of my scope and level. And I think you're going to have to get that advice elsewhere. I don't even know what to say, right? That's one of those I would refer out. Seriously. But it is kind of interesting that referrals are like sex, though. You know, referrals are like sex. You know, so many business owners and people, they want to, like, they want referrals immediately, right? And it's like dating. Is that, like, you know, I mean, very rarely is your first date going to end in sex, right? There's a dating process. It's the same thing with referrals. People need to build the trust. Both sides need to, you know, build the trust and figure it out. And, you know, it's one of those where the key to both those situations is trust. And you never want to belie the trust. You never want to, you know, and don't rush things. People are going to refer you when they want to. That's the problem with asking for referrals as well, is, you know what, here's the thing though. Referrals can happen immediately, just like sex, right? I mean, sex can happen immediately. It has. It does. Referrals are the same way. Like, there have been people that we coach who have one-to-ones and get referrals. Kevin Hadoba is a really good example in Indianapolis, one of our coaching clients, you know, met with someone and got referrals. Very first meeting. It happens. Be open to it. Open-armed. Like, be an appreciative receiver as well as a generous giver. And that's the power of all this. And you know, like many things, including sex and referrals, you have to build the trust first. You have to build the trust first. So guess what? Number 13 on the 23 ways to not get referrals is to ask for sex. That's a pretty easy one, hopefully, for most of you, but might be a good reminder for a few of you. And the bottom line is build a relationship, build the trust first, and be a great referral source. Never do anything to belie the trust. You know, speaking of rebuilding the trust, number 14 on the top ways to not get referrals in 2023. Number 14 is to ghost complainers. Yeah, just ignore them. They'll go away. That's not going to happen. Here's the thing. Handling complaints, problems, and malcontents slowly or not at all is a sure way to not get referrals. You've probably experienced this, and there is nothing as frustrating as having a problem with a product, service, or person and not being able to communicate or resolve the problem. On the flip side, you can handle issues quickly and decisively. Do it right now. Do it right now. I like to look at it as dropping a bomb of nuclear drop a nuclear bomb of awesomeness. When you have a complaint, when you have a problem, drop a nuclear bomb of awesomeness. We recently sold 2 Do It Now wristbands on our site. Now, here's the thing. We actually never sell 2. People think they're buying 2 and then we send 20. So there you go. Check out referco.com and check the store and get your Do It Now bands. And it says get 2, but we actually send 20. But here's the thing. We sold 2 Do It Now wristbands on our site. We were at RMS and then the holidays hit. And so we were slow to ship. So we shipped her 42 wristbands when the order was actually for what she thought was 2. And it was like, you're going to give these away. And I put in a handwritten note, and I Facebook messaged her, and I emailed her. I dropped a nuclear bomb of awesomeness on the problem person and solved them until you get a wow, right? Always be looking for the wow. Always go a little bit above and beyond. I will tell you, early on with my book, people would order my book off my site. I would put a handwritten note in there thanking them for buying the book. And I got so many comments from the handwritten note. And what were they expecting? They were expecting a book. In some cases, they were just expecting a book, and I had actually signed the book, and then I put a handwritten note in there. And, a little wow goes a long ways. But when you get a complaint, please know, thank God they're saying something. Instead of going to Twitter or going to Facebook or going to Instagram or TikTok and making a video about how bad the service was or their complaint was or telling about how bad you're with, they came to you. And appreciate that. Really, really love on them because they came to you. Handle it with a nuclear bomb of awesomeness and you will get referrals. Do not ghost complainers. And that is the number 14 way to not get referrals, is to ghost complainers. The opposite of that is to drop a nuclear bomb of awesomeness on complainers, malcontents, people who have problems. There's going to happen. No matter how good your business is, it's going to happen. When it does happen, don't just kill it, kill it with a bomb kill the problem as fast as possible and just make it happen. There's so many instances in real estate where I turned out looking like the hero when there was a problem because we solved it fast, and solved it bigger and better than they ever saw coming. And that's how you build a great word of mouth business. Which leads us to the number 15 way to not get referrals in 2023. The number 15 way is to communicate by text and email only. This is a sure way to never get a referral. Dealing in the lower levels of the 7 levels of communication is passive, and it's simply not influential. Get into the influential zone with phone calls, Zoom meetings, events, seminars, workshops, and one-to-one meetings. And it's never been easier to do a one-to-one meeting on something like a Zoom. It's never been easier. And it's never been more expected. Like the 2020, the COVID, it changed things. And I have to tell you, some of my best and most valuable time on a weekly basis is in Zoom with someone, one-to-one. It's just us, and they're clear across the country, or they might even be in another country. And we've gotten the opportunity to build the relationship and get to know each other and continue that. And that is referable, my friends. And you've got to stay in that influential zone as much as you possibly can. Phone calls, events, seminar, and workshops, and one-to-one meetings. And let's just include Zooms on that as well. There's nothing like an in-person one-to-one meeting. But you know what? To maybe save you a little time, a little travel, you can do quite a few of these by Zoom, and that's what I do. But you can't get by with there are so many problems with communicating through Facebook, text, and email because there's no tone. When they hear, I don't care how many emojis you put in there, it's going to be misconstrued. I've had it happen to myself, and I'm a really good communicator, where I've said something and somebody took it the wrong way. And that's the problem. With an email, it's easier to take somebody from a 5 to a 1 than it is to take them from a 5 to a 6 on the relationship scale. And that's the problem, is you can just offend, you can just leave something out, things can be misconstrued, they're wondering why you're short, or they're wondering with them, or they're wondering why you're so wordy, or are you hiding something because you talk so much or said so many words. the best way is just ear to ear, belly to belly, face to face. And it's just, listen, make it happen. The best way to communicate is one-to-one. And we know it. If you can do it, do it. It's great. That's what it's about. I said earlier about becoming the expert in the person across from you versus an expert in sales skills or an expert in marketing or an expert in, the market, whatever it may be. You need to be an expert in the person across from you. And there's really only one great way to do that. And it's events, you can do it. One-to-ones, you can do it. Zooms, you can do it. And from there, phone call, you can do it. But otherwise, you're just being informative. And we're living in the influential age, right? The information age is over. We're now in the influential age. You've got to become an influencer. You've got to become a leader. And the way to do it is to stick with the time in the influential zone. And that is, like I said earlier, phone calls, events, seminars, workshops, Zooms, and of course the one-to-one. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the number 15 way to not get referrals, is to communicate by email and text only. And guess what? You're not going to do it. You're going to communicate by phone. You're going to communicate one-to-one in person. You're going to communicate by Zoom, and you're going to communicate in events, seminars, and workshops. And you're going to get referrals. I know you are. And guess what? I'm here to help you do it. And I'm excited about this. I didn't know how these jam sessions would go. Let me know what you think. I know they're a little quicker. I know they're a little faster. But the bottom line is I hope they help. And as we go through this, you're probably wanting maybe a list of all of them. You'll be able to download that list at referralspodcast.com. We'll make sure that we have a download for you, and you can also share that and have other people read it and check it out. But, today we've gotten through the 15 ways to not get referrals in 2023. That leaves 8 more that we'll cover in the next edition, the next view of Referrals Podcast next time. And I'm really looking forward to it. There's some surprises in these final 8 that may blow you away a little bit, may insult you a little bit, may shock you a little bit, maybe not. But the bottom line is I'm definitely open to debate. I'm open to conversation about any of these. I love sharing them, and I hope you're enjoying them too. Remember a couple things real quick. Join GenGen.com to join the Generosity Generation. Join our referral community. You're part of the community if you're listening to this. The other thing too is check out referralmasteryacademy.com, referralmasteryacademy.com. You get a whole bunch of great things. That's our subscription. You can subscribe for less than $100 a month, and you get all of the resources and all of the research and all of the things to throw events and all of the classes to do event mastery. You get it 3 times a year. You get time mastery. You get 30 mornings, you get Sweet Dreams, you get the March Magic Challenge, you get the Summerfest Challenge, you get the November Challenge, you get both the YAPs and a schedule to follow it. You get 2 52-week systems and schedules and plans for your database. Lots of powerful stuff at the Referral Mastery Academy. Check it out, referralmasteryacademy.com. Last but not least, make sure that you rate and review the podcast, and then take a snapshot of that and share it in the joingengen.com group. And we will ship you, as long as supplies last, we will ship you a copy of Brittany Hodak's book, Creating Superfans. It is autographed. It will also have a commemorative, that's easy for you to say, commemorative bookmark in there for the first 500 books sold, and you will get one of those as well. So great things happening. I love you. I appreciate you. Hope you're having a great year so far, and we will see you next time on Referrals Podcast.